SoFi update here on the 19th. So a nice move today, 6.6%. Just to clarify, I know a lot of people think I'm bearish. I'm not bearish on the stock from a standpoint of I want it to go down. I'm bearish based on the chart. So I want it to go up. My deltas are at like 8,000 bucks. So every time it goes up $1, I make $8,000. So I want it to go up. A lot of people I think in the comments think that I'm like rooting for it to go down to 550. That's just where I think it's gonna go, based on the chart. It has nothing to do with me wanting it to go down there. So just to clarify that. And anyway, long term, I'm very bullish on the stock. So very nice move today, up 6.6%. IWM was up 1.2%. It actually broke through that supply zone from the last video. But I noticed that on the 3-day, we also have a supply zone right here. And the top for that is at 796. So is the move that I talked about in the last video invalidated? No, I don't think it is yet. What would it take to invalidate it for me? Just so you know. Well, first of all, I want to see it get above the 50 on the weekly, break this parallel line, and then really break 797. It needs to go pretty much straight up, in my opinion. If it goes straight up from here, it can break 797, break this parallel line, and go straight to 850. But until it breaks 797, I talked about that back in March and April. That was a big resistance zone. We need to get above that, and it never did get above it, except for this one day it popped above it and then came straight back down. So 797 is the resistance I'm looking at before it can break out. And what am I looking at as far as the move? I'm looking at it kind of similar to this right here. So you can see I have this labeled as A, this is B. This would be this move right here. So this would be this. We'd be currently in a B wave and get a C wave down. So right here, it's retraced to about this 0.78 fib. About the same spot. So really, if it keeps on going higher over the next couple of days into PAL, then there's a good chance it could get invalidated. But right now, you're still in the supply zone right here. You have the most obvious gap below. So I have no idea what's going to happen with PAL, but this is a very obvious gap. I talked about it in the last video. Down here at 550. And we are still in a downtrend. Everyone's euphoric. That's people are posting that we're breaking out to 10 bucks now. So it could happen, but again, I'm not really there yet. It needs to break 797, and we'll see what happens. So, and then again, long-term bullish. Long-term, I'm bullish on SoFi, obviously. I'm just projecting 550 before that. Upstart hit resistance today, just to show comparison. That also hit resistance. IWM hit the resistance area that I talked about, 215 to 220. It's kind of a sideways move. It hit the 1.61 fib, almost exactly. The VIX has gone straight down since the very top. That's another red flag, in my opinion. That's never happened in the history of the market. Of course, it could just keep on going down. It could just keep on going down. There's no real technical analysis in the VIX. You just kind of look at it and be like, why is this not bounced yet? Because I would be looking for something like this. I want to see a retrace like that and then the real VIX crush. But we just got the VIX crush right away. If you go back to like 2020, it bounces back and forth a bunch. There's a bunch of retraces up and down. So here's 2020. We got down, up, and then, but then we go here, 2024, and what do we have? Straight down. So it's kind of odd. It's kind of trappy in my opinion, but maybe it's not a trap. That's your decision to decide that. Based on what I see with IWM going into my short area, I'd be very careful here. But maybe this will break out. It's a tricky stock. I'm just projecting it the best I can. We'll see what happens. Black box, last thing I'll show you. Not trying to scare you, but on IWM, the only thing I saw today above the ask with huge premium were puts. For 1018 and 920 above the ask, you got about 5 or 6 million in puts for 203, 205 puts. So that is kind of a red flag as well. It just seems like they're setting retail up again. It seems like they're trying to set us up. QQQ with a nice move into resistance as well. But I'm kind of neutral on QQQ. I think it can go to 495. So we'll see what happens. That's kind of my thoughts on SoFi. You can see what the actual path was in the last video. But basically, I'm still looking for this. And then after that, breakout. So I don't think we're there yet. But again, prove me wrong. If it goes above 797, then I would say this move is probably invalidated at that point. So that's pretty much it from this video. Leave me a comment, like, subscribe for more updates, and I'll keep you updated. We'll see what happens here tomorrow. Have a good night.